Welcome to call control. During the auction, there'll be different situations that arise. Two bidders going neck and neck with rapid fire bids, a big bold bid late in the piece, a small bid early, or maybe in the middle of the auction, things have been quite fluid, but you're struggling to extract that next bid. It feels like pulling teeth. Certain interruptions and curveballs that get thrown your way throughout the bidding procedure. It's your job to observe this. It's your job to respond. Keep your cool with a premeditated set of statements to respond to every single situation that can get thrown your way. Over the 10 years that I've been auctioneering, I've experienced almost everything that could possibly get thrown at me. And these responses, I call it a call and response. Something happens and you respond. These call and responses, I've developed them organically over my 10-year auctioneering career, and I'm going to unwrap them and share them all with you. I liken this to water off a duck's back. Any situation that gets thrown at you will be like water off a duck's back if you know in advance all the different situations that it can appear. And if you know in advance the verbal responses and reactions you'll have to those different situations, it will be like water off a duck's back. Let's work our way to page 2 of the workbook. Before I continue, I really want to set the stage. As per usual, I want to poke the bruise so you can feel a little bit of the pain of what you'll experience if you don't have these premeditated responses. The problem is this: you're just an order taker. Whoever throws a bid at you, whoever tries to disrupt you, if there's dead air and there's no bidding, all you're doing is becoming a victim to your environment. The buyers are in control. The lack of action is throwing you. It's throwing your energy. The buyers sniff weakness. They're in control. They start throwing smaller increments at you and you crumble and you accept everything. You're an order taker. The other problem, if you don't have premeditated responses to every situation that can get thrown your way during the bidding, is you're boring to watch. You just stand there getting bids thrown at you and you just accept them. There's no commentary. There's no filler lines. There's no storytelling. There's no rejecting bids and searching for higher increments. You've got no premeditated lines up your sleeve so that you can extract bids when you're really struggling to extract them. You're just one of the others. You're boring to watch. The other problem is you're easily thrown and manipulated. It's like you're balancing on one foot and the wind is blowing heavily. You're unstable and you do whatever you need to do in order to progress the bidding, and you get manipulated and bullied and you accept every bid that the bidder verbalizes, and the bidding slows down early in smaller increments. And all of a sudden the vendor sells for less and you don't get more auction bookings straight off the back of your auction because you're just one of the other cliche, stereotypical order taker, boring auctioneers. And the other problem is this: you lose control and you crash. The auction stops well before its potential. Now here's the opportunity. If you've got full confidence and equipped with all of your premeditated responses. Number 1, you control the energy. You've got confidence and a security blanket knowing that you've got all the solutions in your pocket. You've got the ability to handle all the curveballs that can get thrown at you and commentate everything that's happening around you, irrespective of what happens during the auction. And you control the energy. Your energy's high. Your confidence is high. You're cool, calm, and collected. You demand focus. You're in control. You're the ringmaster. You're the commentator. And you're a full ball of energy and confidence. And because of that, you demand focus and attention. The lights are on you, and it's an incredibly theatrical and entertaining experience for all the buyers and the neighbors. You build pressure. You build tension. Because as you'll see when I unwrap all the different responses for the different situations that the bidding can throw at you, you build pressure consciously with your commentary of your environment and what's going on between the bidders. You build the pressure and tension between them. Take the spotlight off you and put it onto them. So they're looking at each other and they feel the pressure and they explode and they bid higher. You captivate the crowd and you hold the audience's attention because they're at the edge of their seat thinking to themselves, how quick-witted, how fast are these responses? This auctioneer is incredible. And one day if I'm selling my property, I want him or her to hold the fort and auction my home as well. There are 5 key areas where we're going to be focusing on inside call control. The opening bid stretch. You're calling for the opening bid. You're doing all in your power to work hard, dig deep, and extract that opening bid. We're going to have premeditated things to say in that particular section of the auction. When you're asking for bids, you've received your opening bid, and now you're trying to progress that bid, and then progress to the 3rd bid, and the 4th bid, and the 5th bid. We're going to have premeditated things to say and do in those particular situations. And then when you're actually accepting bids, calling for them is one thing, accepting them is another. How do you do that? What do you say? How do you mix this up so you don't sound predictable and methodical? Below reserve price, the bidding slows down. You take a mid-auction pause. You're walking the floor. You're getting close to the reserve price, but you're really struggling to get there. And you're trying to re-engage bidders that haven't bid for a few minutes. What do? What do you say? How do you reactivate the bidding? And when you're on the market above the reserve price and you are selling and everybody knows that you are selling, what do you do in these critical moments for the bidding flow to progress and rise even higher? Because remember, that's your sole objective for the vendor. And when you've got premeditated things to say in these situations, you're going to be flowing. You're going to have an out-of-body experience. The audience will be entertained. The bidders will be captivated in a hypnosis and increase the chances of them continuing to bid. Let's turn to page 3. I really want to simplify this for you and put it on a timeline of events. 12 o'clock, the auction starts. Then we have the snappy intro. At 12:03, it's the opening bid stretch and you're calling for the opening bid. Digging deep, deeper than anyone else in your market to extract that opening bid. Now, if we fast forward to 12:16, you've been on the market for several minutes. All the underbidders said they're out and you enter into the golden minutes. And you go for 5 minutes. And then at 12:21, it's the auction close. And at 12:23, the property's sold. Between the opening bid stretch and you transitioning into the final golden minutes, that's where the bidding flow lives. Extracting bids, receiving bids, curveballs getting thrown at you. And this is what I call the bidding flow between 12:03 and 12:16. Or between 12:04 and 12:23, or 12:04 and 12:18. I don't know the exact amount of time because every auction is different. Every auctioneer is different. But it's between the opening bid stretch and you transitioning into the golden minutes. I've developed this organically over 10 years and I've unpacked my intellectual property and created a framework so that you've got a premeditated reply for everything that can get thrown at you. I'm going to share with you these different situations you can find yourself in and the replies that I use. And my call to action at the end of this is this: practice, rehearse, and use the responses that I've armed you with. And if you'd like to take it one step further, come up with your own. Create your own and bring them to life. Now remember, there's 2 ways you can go here. Sit through these videos and just expect for this to come to life, or sit through this upcoming training content, design your own material, or use mine, practice at home, practice in the office, and actually bring these to life. The vendor is choosing to get you to auction their home. They're only selling once in their life. The family home they've owned for 25 years. You owe it to them to do all in your power to hold the audience captive, to keep the bidding flowing as best as possible, extracting bids when bidders say they're out, and achieving for them the best result. Let's roll up our sleeves and let's get to work with the bidding flow.